Wow. All right. Thanks so much. Wow. I hadn't planned on this. But listen, I say right from the start, those people who said that there's a lot of rhetoric in this round of bargaining, that Sam Hammond's spreading rhetoric all over the place, that Sam Hammond is directing the course of this round of bargaining. My friends, you just showed everyone that you, and you always have, directed me and this union on your behalf, and thank you for that. Listen, I want you to know something. Our brother Jim Eicher was here, the president of the British Columbia Teachers Federation. You gave him a standing ovation for the stand that they took in British Columbia. He had to leave this morning. But I want you to know that he sent me a text that he wanted me to share with you. He has on, as he's traveling back to BC, our Bargaining for the Future, Respecting Our Past t-shirts. Delegates, friends, sisters, and brothers, I can't tell you how so very honored to once again serve this federation as your president. Your confidence in me and in the members of our provincial executive that you've elected has sent a very important message. And that is that the 78,000 members of ETFO have always and will continue to stand up for our past, our future, our members of the past, the teaching profession, and the future of student learning conditions in this province. Your show of support with your sea of red t-shirts with our bargaining theme on them, bargaining for the future, respecting the past, makes that very loud and very clear. Our bargaining color red going into the future once again. Parents, listen, parents and the government know that our highly qualified members are what make our public education system one of the strongest in the world, and that these members understand what is needed to give their students the best education every day, in every class, and for every student. That's why the Liberal government's education policy is based on the promise that outstanding education systems support teacher professional judgment and our members. You know that, parents know that, and yet for 6 months we've been faced with a list of contract strips from the Ontario Public School Board Association that has not changed. These strips would erode teacher professionalism and the ability for them to use their professional judgment when providing instruction to our students. I'm going to tell you right now, that will never happen, and we will never agree to that. As I said on Monday, for 6 months, the government has stood silently by and done nothing. Nothing to stop this brash attempt to control every classroom at the expense of every teacher. These demands are not at all about improving education for our students. They're all about increasing management rights and a desire for control. Period. End of the conversation. Our student learning conditions should not be and will not be impacted in this way. Nor should our education system be weakened by the disrespect that OPSPA has shown for the working conditions of our members that we have bargained for over several decades. Should we allow our education system to be weakened by interference with the preparation time teachers need to plan lessons and prepare specialized plans for students? Have teachers do more testing and less teaching? Allow them to take DECEs, ESPs, and PSPs away from their classroom responsibilities with students to do non-classroom tasks? That's it. And allowing principals the flexibility to pass over qualified, experienced educators for classroom positions? Not going to happen. It's not going to happen on my watch. Many of these demands undermine education policies, regulations, and programs developed by the Liberal government, the very government that has stood by silently at the bargaining table for the last 6 months. That just doesn't make sense, and it will never make sense. I say shame on both of them for the continued attacks on the profession, the professionalism of our members, and our outstanding publicly funded public education system. And that's why, at the end of the day, our 76,000 members began an administrative work to rule strike action in May of this year. Our members will have been without a contract for 1 year on August 31st. And as you know, we've agreed to return to the bargaining table on September the 1st. It's all the more reason for ETFO to keep up the pressure, as you have done at this annual meeting, to ensure that there is movement at that central table. Movement towards a fair collective agreement that respects our members' working conditions and students' learning conditions. We know that today our colleagues in OSSTF have reached a tentative deal. That's great. Congratulations to our colleagues in OSSTF. It may be a sign that the government and OPSPA are finally beginning to recognize the importance of resolving issues prior to the start of the school year. And given our past experience, we will be prepared for anything and everything on September the 1st. Sisters and brothers, I want to say at this point on this item that we have worked in solidarity with everyone. We will always work in solidarity with whoever we need to. We will continue to move forward in that direction. But I want you to know that as we go through this, that the people that I and our executive and your provincial bargaining team rely on, the people that we turn to, the people that we trust, are our family. You and our 78,000 members across this province. Straight up, Things must change at our central bargaining table in order for ETFO to reach a deal. Our provincial executive and you have determined that we will stay on course, and we will begin a phase 2 work to rule in addition to the current administrative strike action that we implemented in May. And I want to highlight just a few of those components. Effective the first working day of the 2015-16 school year, ETFO members will not participate in any field trips, will not participate in fundraising activities, will not perform or participate in any activities, meetings, or training related to school or board improvement plans. They will not participate in board professional development, not respond to any electronic communication from the principal or vice principal outside of the instructional day, except where the safety of students is involved. And our members will not take on principal's duties by acting as teacher designate or teacher in charge at any time. You know, while there will be no field trips until our issues are addressed in bargaining, we will not at this time ask our members to stop their voluntary extracurricular activities. But I want to be very clear. This is phase 2. And if we cannot get a deal at that table and get it sooner rather than later, as I said on Monday, OPSPA, Liberal government, you are in for the fight of your lives. Thanks so much. Anyone who says I control you needs to be here. Listen, all of the information around phase 2 will be coming out later this afternoon and will be on our union collective bargaining website, www.etfocb.ca, this afternoon. As I told you on Monday, I've invited all of our local presidents and chief negotiators to discuss our plans for collective action in much more detail on September the 14th, and I look forward to that. You know, along with our work to rule, our phase 2 work to rule, our focus will continue to be on activism outside of our schools and classrooms. And thousands of you, as I said on Monday, traveled to Collingwood for the Liberal and the OPSPA annual meeting. Our members have been without a collective agreement for an entire year. You've been without an agreement for an entire year. And there are many ways that we can speak with one voice about this unacceptable situation. You have been, and you will, and I know you'll continue to do just that. And one way is through social media. I'm asking all ETFO members to join me on Twitter to send a thunderclap message to this Liberal government and to OPSPA on August the 31st. You'll be sent information next week by a CB newsletter about how you can be part of our thunderclap message. In September, we will be rallying and picketing outside Liberal MPP offices and school boards in every corner of the province. And if we still can't arrive at a fair negotiated settlement, we are going to descend, all 78,000 of us, on Queen's Park during that same month. In short, together we are sending the message to the government and OPSPA and education stakeholders that ETFO members will never allow the the erosion of our members' working conditions. Because as all of you know in this room, teacher working conditions are student learning conditions. And if you erode working conditions, it immediately and directly impacts learning conditions. Let me be clear, my friends. ETFO has remained ready and willing to negotiate fair collective agreements for our members. But I say to the Liberal government and OPSPA, you must come to your senses and get serious about bargaining a fair collective agreement for the future of our members and the future of the students in this province. Everyone in this room and our 78,000 members understands this necessity, and we are prepared to stand firm and stand united in this goal. Today, in this room, over the past 3 days, and in September, and every month thereafter, in every public elementary school across this province. I know that you are prepared, to stand up for what is right. You do it every single time that you're called upon. You have my absolute heartfelt thanks for that. And my friends, to close, we will do this together. Our members, every 78,000 members of our members, need to hold their heads high. They are the heart and the soul of one of the best public education systems in the world, and we will do what we need to do to protect them, our students' learning conditions, and our collective agreements. Thank you. Thanks so much. Well, I have the best family in the whole world. Listen, I want to turn now to what we would normally do during this time. Well, I, from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you enough. You're amazing. Listen, so I want to turn now to the tremendous exercise of democracy that we have been engaged in over the last 3 days at this annual meeting. I want to thank you, all of you, for your attendance, your participation in the debate, the very respectful, thoughtful, and great debate that we've had on the floor, and in the process determining the direction of our federation for the next short while. This democracy, that very transparent and accountable democracy, is what makes our federation so strong. You know, the tone of the debates this year was extremely respectful, and this is thanks to you and thanks to the skills of our amazing parliamentarians. You know, there's only one person that scares me at a microphone, and that's Ruth Ann Morley. Listen, you just did Ruth, Wolf, Doris, Yolanda. Thank you so very much. You're doing an amazing job on our behalf. So I'm going to tell you, this says in my speech this morning, we passed our budget enabling, well, we haven't done that yet. We haven't done that yet, and we will get to that. But, you know, bargaining was at the top of everyone's mind this week, and we debated some very important aspects about the ongoing work of our federation and our long-term future, one of which was our commitment, our solid, unwavering commitment to equity. Equity work requires planning, commitment, and continual reflection. It involves taking concrete steps to remove barriers and create inclusion. And we have always been leaders in fighting these battles, and we've always walked the talk. With our transgender policy, we have also taken a historic step to align our federation with the Ontario Human Rights Policy on gender identity and gender expression. More importantly, this policy will help ensure that transgender members are welcome, respected, and provided full rights and protection within our union and our workplaces, because it's the right thing to do. Delegates, you also voted to endorse the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada report and its 94 recommendations, and thanks so much. Thanks so much for that. And moving forward, we will provide a forum for our members to learn more about the recommendations, the recommendations impact educators, how they impact educators in the public education system. And we will not for 1 minute, ever forget about our First Nation, Métis, and Inuit brothers and sisters in this country, and we will do everything to support them into the future. So, if this is your last annual meeting, and you will admit it, I'd ask you to please stand and be recognized by the delegates at this annual meeting, if this is your last annual meeting. We all respect and appreciate everything that you've done for us, and it's an honor for us to continue on in your footsteps, and good luck to each of you. So, along with our committed local leaders, dedicated committed local leaders, our federation is lucky to have, and I've always been fortunate to work with, a strong provincial leadership team as we enter into the next phase of bargaining. And I'm going to ask, we went through an amazing process, an election process, and I'm going to ask now that the new executive join me here on stage. First Vice President, Susan Swackhammer. Vice Presidents Nancy Lawler and Karen Brown. OTF Table Officer Diane Dewey. And Executive Members Tracy Blodgett, Gail Bannister Clark, Kelly Hawley, Monica Rusnick, Deb Wells, Adelina Chakeen, Nathan Kaur, Dave Maston, and Greg Wheeler. Okay, already.
Yeah, we got it. I know. All right, tell us in the video.
Yeah, I'm going to go up there, yeah.
All right, good.
I'm excited. I'm so excited to work with this new provincial leadership team on your behalf. I'm just going to ask them to stay up with me because we're going to be doing everything together over the next 2 years. And those who were newly elected, I said, you know, I hope that you've told your spouse, your partner, that I have you for 2 years and they're never going to see you. Listen, our theme of this year's annual meeting was bargaining for the future, respecting our past. We owe it to all those who came before us to continue this fight for our members, our profession, and for the future of public education in this province. Our members have been central every step of the way, and we will continue to rely on your passion and commitment to our profession. You have made our public education system one of the strongest in the world, and it will be you, through our unified collective action, that will defend public education. I'm honored and proud to be your president, and I'm honored and proud to work in the future over the next 2 years with the team at the front. Thank you so much.